We are now recording, but I will not go ahead and do the whole intro again.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you go ahead and tell us about yourself,
Yeah.
Noelle.
So I have three children. That's probably most important, my main thing in life. 17, 13, and 4. So two teenagers and a toddler. You can imagine how busy and crazy it gets over here. I'm a registered nurse. I work hospice right now. I teach some yoga in my hometown, Flora. Um, I really enjoy nature and holistic health is my passion. So I've kind of been on this journey for probably close to 15 years. I think I'd say it started with yoga, starting a yoga class 15 years ago. My friend Kat taught down in Flora, and I was expecting Dylan. So I'm like, oh, I'll just join this class and for fitness. And that was my main goal. I had no idea what I was getting into with yoga, I guess you could say. I learned a lot on my yoga mat, mind, body, spirit connection, and it led me to dive into holistic health. Then my interest for nursing came along. My mother's a nurse. Shout out to my mom. She's on here. Um, so she really inspired me to do that. With nursing, I wanted to get into holistic nursing, and I thought I could change the Western medicine field. That's a whole nother different chat, but
Yeah.
we're getting there. I really enjoy learning about Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. So their model is much different than the Western medicine model. And so a lot of what we talk about tonight is kind of based off of the Chinese medicine model. I want to start by talking about winter wellness. I think it's a good foundation to have and then kind of build off of that. And you can prep for winter anytime. This stuff is great for any season. Um, but it's great to really have our immune health ready for winter. So there's really 4 or 5 pillars that I like to build health on, the main things, and they're easy to do. These are micro habits that can turn in, I mean, macro benefits. So adding these in your daily routine, it might seem like a lot at first, but just start with one. Consistency is key. It's going to look different every day. If you're on vacation, it's going to look different than when you're at home. The days you work, it might look a little different than the days you're off work and at home. So just consistency is key. Don't be too hard on yourself if you miss a day. Just jump back on. Um, if you miss 2 or 3 days, it will always be there for you to come back to. So first of all, I want to talk about sunshine and the importance of sunshine. Ideally, we want to get sunshine first thing in the morning. So rather than grabbing your phone, picking up your phone, leave it in another room. Airplane mode is great for overnight. If you can shut your Wi-Fi off at night, even better. Um, so sunshine first thing in the morning. On cold days, if you can't get outside, find a window facing the east, towards the sunrise, and try to get that direct sunlight. Even on days of overcast, still fine. You don't want to look directly at the sun. So if it's really bright, you can kind of squint and blink or just look somewhere in the sky. You want to aim for 5 to 10 minutes. If there's an overcast, it's better to get a little more. But even if you can get a minute or two, that's better than nothing. So that's going to help with our circadian rhythm. It's going to help with energy, focus, performance during the day. it will help balance your melatonin. So, like 12 to 16 hours later, it's still going to help balance your melatonin. And these are all things that our ancestors did, thousands of years ago. If we can just tap back into that, it's just basic, our God given healing abilities right at our fingertips. It's free, it's accessible most of the time. Can you say hi? So, yeah, just trying to tap back into that. Um, Grounding is great too. So, think just being out with your feet on the earth. It's a little tough to do with, sorry, it's a little tough to do in the wintertime because we do want to keep our extremities warm. But if you do have a nice warm day, get out and get your toes in the dirt.
So, Noelle, what do you think about the like the new technologies of like the grounding mats? How do you feel about those?
I have not used them much. Or I've never actually used one, but
Hmm.
I mean, it looks legit or sounds legit.
I just didn't know if you knew much about them or that if you ever tried using them
Yeah,
before. So,
yeah. Has anybody else used those? Oh, that's on right now? No.
I like to get outside.
Me too. I do too, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why spend money on one of those when you can just go
It's
outside?
free. That's
right.
right.
Yeah. I was gonna say it might be nice like on days if you're sick, but is it worth the money?
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not getting sick much. So, yeah. Another thing you can utilize in the wintertime on like rainy days or, days of overcast, a red lamp, a red light. I've got one. It's just like a 300-watt panel, but I have read where like a chicken heating lamp will work. I haven't researched that or anything, but I have heard that. So, yeah.
So
So
the one thing about the red lights that I think is really important to put in there is that the quality does matter. Like they have, if you're going to spend the money on a red light to make sure you're getting a quality one, they have some. Like I work with Kelly in Alney at Market Street Medical, and they
yeah,
have like a medical grade, and it is. I have one too, and it was not the most expensive. You
okay,
can definitely tell the difference between the medical grade and the ones from home. So
okay.
it it may be worth it to just buy the sessions than to
Yeah.
buy the lamp and not get the benefits. That's
Mhm.
just my opinion though. So go
See,
ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
yeah, it's no, you're fine. It's just like an EMR Tech. That's the brand, and it's a good one. I did have one off of like it was some brand from China from Amazon at first, and it is a really big difference. This one is, and I like that this one has the timer on it because that is something to note. You don't want to fall asleep and be in it too long. You kind of want to start low and slow, like 5 minute increments. Mine does the setting on it is it's in 5 minute increments. But yeah, it's great. There's like a COD setting too, where it gets even brighter, and it comes with like the tanning bed goggles and everything. So yeah, I can tell a difference when I use that. I do. Usually I get like seasonal depression in the winter. So I've been using this a few years. I haven't had any issues with that the past few years since I started using it. So yeah, it's great for mental health. And like I said, that seasonal depression. Um, you can get, I think, seasonal lights too, like sunshine light bulbs. I won't get into it too much, but do your research. If you've got LED lights in your house, switch to incandescent. I just recently did that, and I can tell the difference. I feel more at ease in my house. So
A little less constantly stimulated by
yes,
the lights. Yeah.
absolutely, and that's something. Um, Speaking about cell phones earlier, something to become aware of. It's good to put your cell phone up like 1 to 2 hours before bed, or if you've got blue light blocking glasses, if you work on computers, screens a lot, those are great to have. The blue light is just not good for us. It's harder for us to go to sleep. If you wake up in the middle of the night, do not pick up your cell phone. Try not to, because I've been guilty of that. And then I cannot go back to sleep. It's like my brain immediately just starts going, doesn't stop. So
Yeah, you almost need to just leave your cell phone completely out of your room. Make
out,
it more like your sanctuary to sleep, not
yep,
be stimulated.
for
So,
sure.
yeah.
Yep. I was researching the negative effects of cell phones, and I guess something about the electrons, um, like the transport of them to our cells, they actually dehydrate you. So like whenever you are sick and you're trying to rest, like put the phone, you just want to like doom scroll when you're laying in bed sick, and it's actually like pulling hydration out of your cells, which was really interesting to read. So yeah, they're not the best, but pros and cons. So yeah, just be aware of your screen time, and waking up, going to bed, try to do no screens. Sunshine, good. The second pillar here, movement. So it's so important to move and, keep our bodies flowing, keep our lymph moving. Um, I've got my candles up and she's blowing all my candles out. Sorry. Um, yeah, so moving, getting that lymph flowing and pumping is great. Anything that will support our body's natural detoxification, keeping our detox pathways open. Um, you know, 10,000 steps a day, great. If you're already doing 10,000, increase it by 5,000. Try to get 5,000 in. If you can get to the gym, lift weights, that's great. Red light saunas, so sauna, sweating, all great for helping move that lymph and just getting out any toxins. You don't have to really overcomplicate it, just get some movement in. Those vibration plates, I've been seeing a lot about those. Those would be good. I do want to and show you guys a little something, a lymph massage. So if you can follow along with me, I'm going to have to stand up and show you some of the points, but this is we talked about the micro habits. This is a really good one to include daily. I do it before the shower every day. And I mean, it takes 2 to 5 minutes. Skin to skin is best to do this. So before the shower is great. I follow it with dry brushing if you're familiar. So we'll start with the lymph massage. So we have I'm going to go over 7 main points for lymph. And the points are the termini. They're like right here at your collarbone. You can go below or above. We'll just go over the points now. Then the tonsillary, which are like right below your ears. You can kind of feel, if you want to yourself, right below your ear there. Then your apical, which is like heart. So it's going to be right here. And you can kind of feel, once you start poking around, you can kind of feel like a subtle difference. It's kind of sensitive where those lymph nodes are. Okay. Now your axillary, which is your armpit. So it's going to be like right in the deepest pit of your arm, right there. If your armpit does not have a pit in it, that means you have lymph stagnation. So this usually helps clear that up. Axillary. Then we're going to do the cisternal, which if you find your ribs and you walk up to meet your sternum here in the middle of your abdomen, it's right here. And you can that one's pretty sensitive once you start poking on it. Then the groin, pretty self-explanatory. Popliteal under the knees, and then the ankles. So now we will do the massage. So you're going to take your middle finger and your ring finger. Okay. This is a very gentle pumping, sweeping. Okay. It's not like a scrape. Our lymphatic vessels are just right underneath our skin. So it's just very gentle. It doesn't take much. So we always want to start at our termini. This is where all the lymph has to come and pump through. This is what filters all of our lymph. So when we start at the termini, we want to kind of like pump and pull away, to move it all out. You're going to pump each area 10 to 50 times. I usually do like 20 to 30. So you get in there and you pump. If you guys want to join me, you can kind of pull away from there. Good. Okay, the next spot, tonsillary. So again, right underneath your ears there, behind your ears. And this, we're going to pull down towards that termini. So again, like 10 to 20 to 30. Mama. Good. Okay. Then the apical. Yes, honey. Right here. And again, you're going to want to go up towards that termini. Okay. Yeah, we will. On fire. Yeah, just now. Okay, now you can cross your arms for the axillary and then pump up towards that termini. Good. Now the cystosternal. So again, find your ribs, walk up in there. And this is kind of like a J movement. So you're kind of going up and into that area. And that one's a little tender. Good. Okay, and then the groin, just kind of start at the top here and you can kind of go down a little. Good. Popliteal, so you want to do both of the backs of your knees. And then at the ankle, I'm gonna pull mine up here. I usually go like kind of by the Achilles tendon on the sides and pump up. Good. And then you repeat all the way back up. So then you do the popliteal under the knees, the groin, the cystosternal, the axillary, the apical, tonsillary, and termini. And Nikki, I can try to remember, if you remind me, to write those out to make up a sheet. Yep, and to share.
Yeah, I think that would be really great. I can forward that to everybody that's on here. I think that would be great if you could get that to me, and then I'll forward it to everybody's email.
Yep, I'll plan to do that. Yep.
Yeah. So now you do this in the evening time before you dry brush or after you dry brush?
I typically do it in the morning before the
Oh,
shower.
in the morning.
Yeah,
okay.
But in the evening. You can do it 1 to 3 times a day.
Oh, okay.
I dry brush like after I do this because you've got your lymph nodes open. So then once you dry brush, it's really, helping that.
So I've always heard, or I have been told, I shouldn't say I've always heard, but I have been told that sometimes whenever you start clearing your lymph, that you can actually become sick. Yep. Like it can make you feel sick because you're clearing it out. Yep. So if that's just all the toxins kind of flowing from your body. Is there anything that you can do during this time that you suggest for people to help speed that up or alleviate the illness? Or
increase your water tank. So drinking enough water and then sweating. So once we start moving your lymph and start sweating, you'll notice that you sweat more easily, and that's good. That's what you want. I used to be a person that was like, oh, I just never sweat. Now I do. It doesn't take much, activity, physical exertion for me to sweat. And that's good. That means your detox pathways are nice and open.
So what clogs these? Can you tell us that? What clogs these pathways?
Yeah. So just our sedentary lifestyle, which most of us are working 40 hours a week, at a desk or, it's just the norm kind of sedentary lifestyle.
Does it have anything to do with the food we eat, like like super
I'm
high processed
sure
foods and
that
things.
has an effect. Yep. Yep. I like to like put a visual to this too. If you think of like rivers and streams, they need to be flowing, not, a nice flow, but then you get dams or, logs in the water, and there's those little areas of stagnation, and then they start to grow bacteria and moss. And so think of our veins and our body system like that. We want to keep everything flowing and healthy and clear. So,
Makes
yeah.
total sense.
Yeah. And I mean, all this stuff goes hand in hand, the sunshine, the movement, which leads us to our next pillar here, hydration. So drinking a lot of water, keeping everything flushed, your system flushed, filtered water, ideally. Filter your tap water. If you're drinking bottled water, find a good filtration system you can buy. There's like a zero filter at Walmart that's great. I use the Berkey filter and just like order the charcoal filter refills on Amazon. I think you can find the Berkey filter on Amazon for cheaper, much cheaper. So yeah, that's a life changer. I read again something else, that another study that showed that the average 50-year-old woman has enough plastic in her brain to the size of a debit card. That's alarming. So, I mean, I haven't done much research on how to get the plastic out. So that's something I kind of dive into. You would think that kind of doing all this stuff might help. I don't know about the particles. I don't know. I need to dive in a little bit more there.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast about this a while back, and I think maybe it was somebody that was on Carrie. Jennifer, was there a lady that was on the Carrie's podcast or whatever that said something about microplastics? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe
You
it
very
was.
well could be, but there's too many for me to remember there. So
I know. But I wanted to say that there wasn't a whole lot once it's there that they could do because it's
Okay.
absorbed. But I could be wrong. So I would think that clearing it out, like you say, clearing your system would help detoxify you from all of it. But yeah,
You would,
definitely remove plastics for sure.
or maybe our other systems are functioning so well it takes over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it could be.
it's interesting. And I mean, you look at the rates of like Alzheimer's and dementia, especially in women. I mean, probably plays a factor in that, the plastic in our brain, microplastics in me
Hmm.
recognize the microplastics in you. So yeah, just something to be aware of. If you can cut down on your using Tupperware, drinking out of plastic water bottles, throw the Tupperware out, invest in good glass products, glass bowls. It's worth it. Do not put your food in plastic in the microwaves. If you're still using a microwave, try to switch over to like a convection oven or something. Just be aware. Awareness is key. In this world, you're not going to be perfect. And I think stressing over it is probably worse than the act of a lot of these things. So just be aware of these things. So yeah. More about the hydration. You can add, electrolytes, trace minerals to your water. Those are great to add in, electrolytes especially. Or you could find a lot. I can share some links of the things I use too. I've been trying to kind of build a little page where I've got all of that stuff linked. So back to the red light, I do have a discount code for the EMR Tech. I can share that. From hydration, hand in hand, nutrition. That's a huge thing. We want to, in the wintertime especially, we always try to aim for getting our nutrients from whole foods. That is ideal. In the wintertime, root vegetables are good. Carrots, beets, sweet potatoes. Um, they're great. Anything, stews, soups, broths, anything that's easy on our system in the wintertime is good. Warm, easy foods to break down. So our system is kind of mirroring nature. It's winter time. It's time to slow down. Our bodies are in rest and digest mode. So anything we can do to support that, to take work off of our digestive system, just to take it easy. I talked earlier about covering our extremities. That's going to lessen the work on our kidneys, which is important. If we can keep our kidneys covered during winter, keep them warm, that's good. I wear fuzzy socks like all the time in my house in the winter time. It's just great to keep those extremities warm. If you're outside, cover your head, wear a scarf, just stay warm. It's very important.
So everything that your mama told you when you were little, make sure you do,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yes, yes. I'm trying to teach my kids, the teenagers, to wear a coat in the wintertime. You know how it is.
Oh
It's
yeah. Oh yeah.
summertime. You can't get them to take their hoodies off. So
I have to tell my kids to put shoes on. I'm like, it's 15 degrees out. Put shoes on. That's how bad it is around here.
raise those barefoot kids, though. That's good.
I do.
That's good. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, the nutrition, whole foods. Um, try to cut back on processed foods if you can. Do you have anything else to add there, Nikki?
Oh,
Nutritional expert.
I could, but this is about you right now. I
Okay.
have a whole lot, but
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
you touched a lot of them. The sunlight, the grounding, nutrition, hydration, movement. Those are all excellent pillars to make sure that keeping our immune system and our health up for sure.
Yep.
Um, can you tell us a little bit about your elderberry syrup making and why it's so good for the wintertime?
Yes. So elderberry syrup, it's got very high in vitamin C, which is very important for immune health. Elderberries are very high in vitamin C, vitamin A. Yes, honey, hold on. Some of the B vitamins, B6, niacin. Okay, give me just a minute and I will, okay. Thiamine and riboflavin, very good. Again, the vitamin C, there's a lot of minerals in the other ingredients of the elderberry syrup as well. Iron, potassium, calcium. Really learning to utilize herbs, like I said, are God-given gifts that heal. So the thing about herbs that I love the most is that they work synergistically with the body, meaning they work with the body rather than trying to override it. And that's what pharmaceuticals and all these medications that are derived from natural herbs are doing. You know, if you have issues with your gut or stomach, are you going to take a medication that just shuts that off? No, we don't want to do that.
Right.
We want to, if you can find an herb that works with the stomach, it's going to work with every system of the body as well. It's going to support every system so that the stomach can function properly. And that's important. That's one thing I really love about herbs. They are like multi-constituents. So they've got, like I said, like the flavonoids, the bitters, those type of things in them as well, rather than like something derived from herbs. It's a single compound. So not ideal. And whenever we build, we use these building blocks, the sunlight, the hydration, the pillars. It's going to make it so much more easy for our bodies to heal. For one, prevent illness, and also to heal. So it's going to decrease our downtime when we're sick and just speed up the healing process. The symptoms are probably going to be a lot less severe, which is really important. So if you're really sick, and you're using this elderberry syrup, it doesn't mask symptoms. It's going to help prevent. So if you're coming from kind of an unhealthy state of your body, I feel like you're more apt to grab like Tylenol PM. Okay. And that's, yes, it makes you feel better. Is it really doing our bodies any favor? Probably not. So,
Yeah, because all the side effects that comes with
oh
that
my
is
gosh.
going
Yeah,
to make it so much worse anyway than dealing with what you have.
for
So
sure.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
right.
So that's just something to touch on. For the ingredients for the elderberry syrup, I use um, ginger root, uh, ground clove, cinnamon. I do add echinacea. Something important to note with the echinacea is it's a big gun and it can trigger your immune system. So somebody with like autoimmune illness or disease kind of need to be careful with that. So if I know that I'm making a batch for somebody with an autoimmune disorder, I'll just omit the echinacea. I can add rosebuds, rose petals. Star anise is something I've liked to add in there. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Local honey. And I really like to utilize my local people for this stuff. I get my honey out of Newton. I get most of my herbs from the Amish nearby. I really try to forage my own elderberries, but it does take quite a bit of elderberries. So what I can't forage on my own, I'll purchase organic dried elderberries from like a co-op online. So elderberry syrup is something that everybody can make at home. It is a process. It does take a little bit. But it's something fun to do and just step in. I started making it 8 years ago whenever I first started getting into herbs, and it's just been a staple in my house ever since. And I had started having friends request it, and now I really make a lot of it. I keep a jar, like a big, I keep it on tap in my fridge. And I have to be careful because the toddler, I'll catch her like drinking it straight off the tap. So I
So
gotta, you like that elderberry, don't you? Yeah.
so how much do you suggest people take like during the winter? What's kind of the dosage? Is there a maximum or a
Yeah.
minimum or
So, if you're taking it prophylactically or preventative, I say 1 tablespoon a day. And then if you're having symptoms, 1 tablespoon like every few hours, up to 4 tablespoons a day. For kids, they say like 1 to 2 teaspoons, same daily or whenever you're having symptoms. Sedona drinks it from a straw. So, I mean, be careful. You don't want to give it to kids under the age of 1 because of the raw honey in it. Just something to note as well. But it's really good stuff. The benefits are crazy. The immune support is amazing.
yeah, and with all those herbs, it sounds like a lot of those are like antimicrobial. So you have the antifungal, antiviral,
Yep.
um, all of that to be able to fight off infection. And that's the one thing to note too. I feel like people are scared of sickness. Like when they get a fever, they are scared, so they immediately try to get rid of it, which is our body's way of
Right.
fighting off that
Yeah.
infection. So we need to embrace that and make sure that we're not it doesn't scare us because we're all going to get sick from time to time. But it's being able to do preventative maintenance as far as your nutrition, your health, movement, hydration, and also having these in our medicine cabinet, these natural remedies that can help push us through to get us back on track. So,
And elderberry is considered to be one of the best antivirals and immune boosters. So just good to know. It's great at preventing cold and flu and also treating it. It's really great for respiratory illnesses. Something to note about the fevers, a true fever, it's not truly a fever until your body temperature is 100.4. And we really don't get worried. I mean, your fever can get pretty high, especially in kids. They can ride it out longer. It's important to hydrate, and you're really just treating the symptoms. So, oh, she went.
Jennifer says living in Montana, she would love to have your recipe too. So maybe
Absolutely.
if you can write that down. I do have a very common recipe on my website, but I only include clove and cinnamon because that's all my kids tolerate. But
Okay.
I would love to have your recipe as well. But I'll just buy it from you.
Yeah, no problem. Yep, yep. I'm happy to share my recipe. Yep.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
So
Jennifer,
I
we
can.
will take a trip to see you in Montana then, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
She
Yeah.
has all kinds of retreats and things. Aren't you putting a retreat together, Jennifer?
At some point, yes, at some point, I just got to find
Yeah.
the right place and time because it's hard. Because once it's spring, then people want to do Montana versus a retreat. So,
Saying
Yeah.
beautiful because this has
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Noelle? Noelle, did you get all of, I don't want to, interrupt you or anything. Did you get all of your stuff
I
that you
think
wanted
so. Yeah.
to take?
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions about her elderberry syrup, about winter wellness, or about how to boost your immune system?
Noelle, Noelle,
Yes.
talk about your face cream.
Yes. Okay. So I do sell a few other items, or I make and sell. Magnesium lotion is one of them, and I've actually I just got a recipe for tallow magnesium lotion. And my newest product is a tallow facial moisturizer, and it's got the tallow, manuka honey, frankincense essential oil, and jojoba oil in it. So I can ship those things, those products. My elderberry syrup is not shelf stable. It has to be refrigerated. So I'm kind of playing with some shelf stable recipes. So you can make, I guess you can make an oxymel with the berries and apple cider vinegar and add it. I don't know what it would taste like though. So yeah, I'll play around with it and see. And elderberry gummies would be cool. So yeah. Yep.
Well, the face cream is amazing. The moisturizing cream's amazing.
Yep.
Where
Mhm.
where do you sell this at, Noelle? Do you have a specific place that people local can pick it up, or do you meet them, or how can people purchase this from you? Oh, no problem. Hold on one second. I do have Noelle's
Okay. Yeah.
Instagram and
All right.
Facebook in the chats, so you can follow her there. Go ahead.
So right now I just kind of sell from home. There is a farm in Louisville that carries my elderberry. It's the Wisteria Hills farm, and they sell raw milk too, which is really good stuff. But I can ship. So yeah,
Okay.
I deliver down in Flora, and if it's within driving range, I can deliver. Sometimes I'll add a delivery fee if too far and out of the way, but yeah.
Good deal. Well, I went ahead and put your information for them to contact you in the chat. It's her Instagram, and which you guys probably are all friends with her anyway, but her Instagram and her Facebook, so that way you can reach out if you want um, to purchase anything from Noelle. It's been wonderful. I'm so glad that you came. Are you going to come back and visit us again?
I would love to. Yeah.
Good.
More on the other stuff. And yeah, be sure to follow Nikki, friends, if you don't. She's an expert gardener and nutritionalist, and she's really, really great. She helped me plan my garden several years ago, and she's very knowledgeable and great to know and follow.
You're so sweet, Noelle. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So one last thing real quick. Next week's Tuesday Tea Talk for everybody that's on here. It's just going to be me. I'm flying solo. So I'm going to be talking about how to build stronger habits, turn these habits into rituals, and then discussing some of my seed starting journey, the things that we need to be getting planted now. So that way you can be ready for spring. So I did, I think here, let me see. I can put the RSVP for the link for next week in the chat real fast, maybe. So that way y'all
since you're
can
going to
have
be
it.
Since you'll be talking about gardens next week, I have one question. This is
Yes.
the first time in 45 years that I have yet to see snow on the ground where I live. I fear that everything is drying up right now. I mean, my grass is like this. It is you guys, usually we have 2 or 3 feet of snow.
Oh my
We've had,
goodness.
uh-huh, and we have had none. Like it is now our mountains, our mountains right behind me is completely snow packed. But my neighbor was over and she's just like, yeah, I don't know. And I was just like, well, what does that mean for our soil? Like, what is it? Because usually we go out there and there is this much snow that melts down through.
Yeah.
Like my bulbs. Like, how do your like, usually that's where your bulbs that I just put, like, so,
Yeah, a
but
lot of people
thanks.
worry about the snow, and that's actually, I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you get the moisture through the whole season. So
Yeah.
we kind of had that here too. We had, I mean, it was 60 degrees in Christmas.
Yes.
So it's been a lot warmer. I think this year is going to be a challenge for sure with the gardens. But I don't think winter's over yet either. I'm a big fan of the almanac, and I do look at it quite a bit, and it does say that we are going to be getting some snow here soon. So wait, we may get all of it at once, and then you may be like, "Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I should have
Bring it,
not
bring
prayed
it,
for
bring
snow."
it. It's so weird and it's spooky for me. It's just like I'm so, but anyways, not to
Yeah.
hijack it.
No, 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 that's fine. That's what it's about. I mean, we're all talking here, so that's good. So, but come back next week and we'll figure out, next week we may have 13 inches of snow. Ironically, yesterday or the day before yesterday, my husband looked on his weather app and he started laughing. He said, "It says we're going to get 13 to 16 inches of snow." I said, "No way." And I looked and it did. In 2 hours, it was gone. It was less than an inch. So, you know what? They don't know. We're just gonna let nature do what it does, and we'll figure it out. So that's the part of gardening that's so much fun, is the challenge. So, but anyways, I'm glad you all came tonight. I am so glad that you came, Noelle, and I look forward to seeing you again. And come back next week. All right. See y'all later.